morning, everybody. So the first session will be on the impact of alcohol on family. I hope you all are working in direction centers, isn't it? So what is the language you want me to? English, mixed or? Okay, English. So here you can see addiction, its impact over the family. Now addiction is called a family disease. Can you somebody explain how it becomes a family disease? We all say, isn't it? Addiction is a family disease. So how it becomes a family disease? Can you please?
When an individual consumes some alcohol, it causes family problems like a marital problem, some sexual problem, and financial problem also. This all problems affected the family members also, rather than the patient individual. So it's a family problem. So also affect the children of alcoholic also.
It's very good. What she said is right. That is, you see, suppose the addiction, whatever problems the addict is facing, whatever consequences of alcoholism or say addiction, the addict is facing, the same consequences are faced by the family members also. Say the wife, children, relatives, all, especially the wife and the children. So the addict's consequences, behavior consequences are similar and equal to that of the wife's and children's problems, isn't it? So that's why it is known as a family disease. Now let us take each aspect. First, let's go to the physical aspect. What do you say? How the physical aspect is affected of addict? Addicts. First we'll take addicts, we'll compare it with the family members' physical state.
Physical means body?
Body disease.
All the body part are affected by taking alcohol, especially the inner lining of the intestines, and cause ulcers, and nervous. It affects our brain also, and yes, and the liver cirrhosis.
Sister, can you add?
Addiction is affected from top to bottom of the one person who takes the alcohol.
Okay. Physical portion, what we say, that what he told is right. That is so many diseases, isn't it? They are become a person becomes total of so many problems, physical problems. For example, you know, if a sugar patient, his sugar rises up, isn't it? Liver cirrhosis is the most common disease found in the alcoholics. Other than this, so many intestinal problems, digestion problems, so many other problems occur, physical problems occurs in the addict. Similarly, the same problems, not the same, but such severe problems, physical problems occurs in the family members also. How? Psychosomatic, yes. They get psychosomatic. You see the wives of the alcoholics, you all see so many patients, isn't it? So you know, when you see the family members, you can find that they are having so many psychosomatic problems. I had a patient, I remember, his wife always says that when I am out of the house, I am very happy. But when coming back from the office, as soon as I get down in my stop, what happens? I start having headache. Why? Because she doesn't want to go to the home. Home is pricking her, so she doesn't want to go there. So she becomes psychosomatic. So many types of psychosomatic problems happens in the family members. In children, you can see. The other portion is many times they don't get a chance to have food properly. Isn't it? Addicts also, you know that so many of vitamin problems occurs. Skin diseases occurs. So these skin diseases are again transferred to the family members. So they are always having depressive feelings. So they can't have proper food and they don't feel like having food. They don't feel hunger and thirst and all that. In that way their health goes on deteriorating. Then there are also chances of having, the addict have the HIV, there is chance of transferring the HIV virus to the wife and the children also. So physical state, whatever physical problems, the addict is going on through. Same way, similarly, serious physical problems are faced by the family members also. So that's the physical aspect. Now let's come to the mental aspect. What do you say? What is the mental problems or the psychiatric problems that the addicts generally have?
Depression.
A mood disorder.
Mania.
Tension.
Hallucination.
Okay, you have numbered your call. So that is, you know, that so many of the brain cells start having degenerating because of the alcoholism, long term of alcoholic consumption, and so many of hallucinations, delusions, paranoia, suspicion, and you know, all sort of mental problems, psychiatric problems start occurring in the patient, in the addict. Along with that, he has so many other problems. He is having, sometimes he may have guilt feelings. Sometimes he is over violent. Like he said that mood disorders happen. Morning he must be in a good mood. When he comes evening to the house, he will be in a very depressed mood. Otherwise morning he may be in depressed mood because he has not got the alcohol. So evening he must be coming very happily. So mood changes, mood variation occurs. So many mental problems occurs in the, I don't go much deeper for it because what I want to just a comparative study, nothing more than that. So now see, the addicts are having all these things. Anxiety is there, anxiety feeling it is. That is socially when you go, when the family, suppose for example I will tell you some incidences. One of the incidents that generally happens in the addict's house is that when they go for, suppose they call some of the guests for dinner in their house. The wife makes everything very tastily. But the husband, he will come and what will say, the addict will come and he will misbehave with the wife. For example, he will say that there will be fish fry. He will say, where is the fish curry? Where is the fish curry? So she said that, no, she will just say, no. He will give one slap to her. He will start shouting on her. This lady is like that, she will never do like that. She will go on abusing her. So what happens in front of all the guests? She gets embarrassed. His behavior embarrasses them. This is a very big family dynamic that is affecting the addict's family. Children are also always the prey of this embarrassment. They get embarrassed. That's why you see that they don't want to go out with this addict. They are always alert with the addict. You see the family, they are always alert. I have a cousin, and he's little high temper and he's also alcoholic. So whenever we go to his house, we also can't openly talk anything. Because when we sit, his wife will be asked something, his wife will show you the eyes like this. Don't say anything. Don't give any chance to him to abuse us. Don't give any chance to him. That is her request. Her calm request, her quiet request. So they don't want, they know that if they say something, embarrassment will be on their part. So that is embarrassment. Embarrassment. Then guilt. They will always have a guilt feelings, isn't it? Then hurt. They are always hurt. See, embarrassed, hurt, they are always happening. Whenever, wherever go, they are always, your husband will always, the addict will always blame the family members. They will always say that I got married to you, that's why all this happened to me. You are like this, that's why all this happened. He will be always blaming them. So always they get hurt. In front of others also, they are always getting hurt. So this is the common. Then anger. They always have repressed anger. Why? Because wife cannot express. Once when you are angry to your family members, what happens? You express it. You directly tell. You say, you yell on them. Isn't it? You yell, you express, you tell. This is the problem. So I come at home and I see that the dining table is spoiled. What's happened? I just shout at my children. I say that what are you people are doing here? You have come at 5 o'clock and you have kept all this like this. So all my anger I can express in my house. If my husband is addict, I cannot come and yell like this in my house. Whatever he does, he is vomited also, I can't say anything. What happens? I will be suppressing myself. So that will create other problems to me. So always repressed anger is there inside my heart. Because I can't say anything to him. I'm scared of saying, because his behavior will be, I can't predict what his behavior will be if I say something. If a person is not an addict, what happens? My husband is not an addict. So I just yell on him. He understands that she has come from the office and she is little today is disturbed, and seeing this he has disturbed more, got disturbed more. And what happens? He will keep quiet. And I am able to ventilate my feelings. In case of addict, I can't ventilate my feelings. And that in different ways I will be expressing later on. My repressed anger will be, then frustrations. I am always having frustration. I remember one of the in our village only we have a family. So everybody said that they have 4 kids. 4 of the kids are in states. Husband and wife are staying here. So what happens is he is addict. So his behavior is very particular. He never goes to America. And she has been living in America, but she cannot leave husband here alone. So she has come back. And the children are inviting them to come and settle down there, but he won't go. He has to stay back here. Because of his addiction behavior, he doesn't go. Because he has a lot of local friends and he has to go to the toddy shop and have all that sort of activities. So he doesn't want to go there. So he always stick to Kerala. So what happens? All the relatives say that she is a very, that is another behavior. Then other than that, what they do, they break the bottle sometimes. They break the bottle. That will work with a small baby. If you break the feeding bottle, the baby will not have the milk again. But regarding the alcoholics, they will go to the market and get another bottle. So only your money is wasted.
Financially, they control finance status.
All the money they will keep with them. His pocket will be empty. So that he should not go out and buy something. So financial control, hiding, breaking the things, showing too much of excess of emotional, this, and not allowing to go outside. I see that some wives will always traveling with the husband. And he will tell her that you stand here for once, I'll come, go and have drinks and come back. So all these methods will not work. But the wife always feels that this will help him to come out of the days. And another controlling behavior the wife takes up is that she will buy the bottle at the home only. Okay, she feels that when his friends are the people who are disturbing him, or they are the people who are influencing him to drink. Generally I say that when the friends came, the wife will be abusive towards the friends. Because she feels that he is the person who is, they are the people who are spoiling him also. But it is not like that. Isn't it? It is not like that. So she feels that out of that feelings, she will say that I have bought a bottle here, you please sit here and drink and don't go out. She feels that in that way she can control his drinking habit. But it all fails. Ultimately you see that all this behavior, all this controlling pattern will fail. Won't come, won't work out. But she tries to become a controller. So that part you have seen that tries to control all measures and fails. Disorganization happens. She is trying to organize, bring him together, but what happens? Everything is failing. Isn't it? Everything gets failed. Then attempts to reorganize in spite of the problems. Efforts to escape the problem. The last comes, she tries to escape the problem. So these are the different behaviors she starts taking up. She doesn't know how to control this fellow. What to do with this fellow. She knows that what is happening is all wrong, not good for the family. But she doesn't know how to bring everything together. So she tries, first she becomes a protector. Initially she is a denial. Second she becomes a, second what you have learned? No, second was not controlling. First she is denial, that justifying. First is denial, second is protector. Second she is functioning as a protector. She is protecting him always. I told you, she goes to social function alone because he has drunk, is not able to come, but she will not tell that thing to her family. She will say that because he has some emergency work, he has not come with me. So she is protecting his behavior. She says that no problem. Then third comes controller. She acts like a controller. Now let's see what's the next. See, can you read, anybody? In their attempts to eliminate the problem, the family unknowingly enables the addict to continue with his inappropriate behavior. The behavior is continuing, but the family is trying to eliminate the problem, but the problem is not eliminated. I am telling you, by denying, by protecting, by controlling, all these ways she is trying to eliminate the problem. Because she knows that the problem is serious and this is going to have consequences on me and my children. So she wants to eliminate the problem. She is trying to become a protector and controller. But what happens? But what happens? What's the result? What is the result? No change.
Helping the addict to agitate the helpless.
Yeah. Inappropriate behavior is continuing with her support. Isn't it? Now enabling behavior of the family. See, first point is it is a destructive form of helping. The enabling behavior, what you saw as a controller and a protector and all that, what happens? This is destructive form of helping. I rather say directly not, but indirectly she is helping the addict to get more and more addicted. Second, it helps the addict to continue with his drug use without suffering the consequences. Like for example, sometimes he will take some money from father's pocket or something, the mother will justify his behavior. No, it was not like that. I have kept only this much money was only there. So what happens? This becomes an encouragement to him. He gets up, for example, in the morning when she gets up and she sees that the hotel person has come. And he is saying that she is knocking the door and saying that your husband had from 3 days he is having dinner from my shop, and see this much of money is the debt. What to do? He will ask. She won't say any word. She will go run, bring the money and give it, because she is afraid of she is having the social problem, social image problem. So she will help him. She will give all the money whatever from our debts she is getting. She will be recurring the debts. She will be giving the debts, returning the debts. So what happens? He understands that if I go like this irresponsible, so there is no problem. I think I feel that once I remember one boy, very smart boy. He's a very smart boy. He was studying for I think BSc second year something he was studying. Both his parents are lecturers. He's got one sister and he is the elder one, and he has a younger sister. Both them are lecturers. So they have a very good, they are from Nair family, and they have a very good family setup. I mean family, what they say, they have hired a lot of property, family property they are having. They are ultimately good rich people, financially high people. So what happened? This boy, they had a dental clinic. They were hiring a dental clinic. No, they were giving a dentist their clinic as rent. And this dentist had some behavior problems. So what he did, he was an addict, and he started influencing him also to have a drinks. And this fellow already had drinks, so both of them had a good company and they started having drinks regularly. And parents are not aware about that. Later what happened? When they brought him to the center, they were talking about, so when I talked to him, he said that what is my problem is that I am having 3 lakhs debts. So I can't go out because I have got the debts from the financiers. If I go out, if I go to the college, they will hold my neck, and so I have to return this money. So he told me then I called the mother in a joint session. He told the same thing to his mother, and mother said, okay, I'll talk to the father about it. Father is a very strict person. So father also came, they talked, and father said, okay, 3 lakhs, I'll give the debts. After the next session, he is telling me, it was not 3 lakhs. I said, then what? He said it was 5 lakhs. 2 lakhs more remaining. So once he came to know the 3 lakhs will be returned, he has started telling other debts also. So what I am telling is that generally family members initially they will be taking the full responsibility of the house. If the husband is not buying the daily things like rice or wheat or anything, what happens? Girl's father will bring all these things to the home because he feels that my daughter will be suffering. Nowadays the father will jump and come and give, because he doesn't have any other duty. I have seen generally fathers generally don't have any other duty. Now they are, after marriage, they are running after their children, looking after the children. Earlier we have 12-13 children, so it's not possible to go and give the ration to all the houses. But nowadays everybody has precious children, two only. So any problem, father is automatically in the house. So what happens? The family started supporting, they started giving all. So this person becomes more and more irresponsible, because he need not to take any responsibility. If he does anything for his behavior, he need not to have the consequences of his behavior, because everything is, the responsibility is taken by the other people. So this behavior encouragement starts. And this fellow feels that if I roam like this also, no problem, then my family will go fine. There is no problem. If I don't take the responsibility, my father-in-law will take the responsibility. So I need not have any effect of the problem. So that is the point. You then like this continues without suffering the consequences. So his drinking habits is going on, because he is not suffering. Understood? He is not suffering. Though he is irresponsible, he is not suffering. So that is the, it helps the addict to continue with his drug use without suffering the consequences. Now see, due to anxiety and guilt, the enablers rescue the addict. Anxiety, they always have anxiety and guilt, so they always help the addict to escape from his responsibilities. Okay, today my child has to go and give the tuition fees. My husband is not giving, so what I will do? I will find some other option. So my husband knows that if I don't give the fees also, my child won't stop going to the school. My wife will find some of the other options. Okay, then I got escaped. My husband got escaped. Now he doesn't have any problem, he doesn't have any consequences. So that is the thing. So you have seen that 3 points are there. It helps a destructive form of helping. All these are destructive form of helping. You are indirectly encouraging the person to become more irresponsible and to have more behavior problems. Then next, it helps the addict to continue with the drug use without suffering the consequences. So he doesn't have any consequences. Whatever he does, he has not to, what you say that you have to account. We say that we should teach people accountable. Once you behave like this, you are accountable for your behavior. That you teach it from your family. That you are accountable for your behavior. You have to be responsible for your behavior, whatever you do. When I take class for the children, I say, whatever you do now, you are responsible for your behavior. Okay. But here, addict is not responsible for the behavior. Other people are taking up the responsibility. So he is very nicely rescuing or escaping from his problem, from his consequences. He doesn't have any consequences with them. No, so that is the enabling behavior of the families of the addict. Now see some examples of the enabling behavior. Justifying his use of drugs or alcohol, calling the manager, naming excuses on his behavior to explain irresponsible behavior. Paying back the debts incurred by the addict. These are some of the examples we have talked now. We have discussed now these examples only. For drugs, alcohol, calling the manager and making excuses on behalf of the irresponsible. Generally all the wives do that. They will call an office and they said it is like this, that problem, this problem, so he is not able to come to the office. They will never say that it is because he is drunk and is unnecessarily sleeping in the house without going to the work. So they will make excuses. The spouse will make excuses. They will make excuses and help this person to get rescued. Then paying back the debts incurred by the addict. Now all we were telling how the debts are incurred, and the person, the financiers, this addict doesn't have to face the financier, because already the father-in-law has given all the debts. So he is getting more encouragement to get another amount of money from the financier, okay, and utilize for his drug abuse. So these are the 3 enabling behaviors that will always have a bad consequence to the family and encouragement to the addict. Okay, it will encourage the addict to continue his behavior, because consequences is not his part. Generally people worry what? The consequence. If I am a normal person, if I get some debts from somebody, and nobody will give it back, what happens? I have to be responsible for my behavior. I have I am the person who has to face the consequences. So what happens next time if I take debts, I will think and do. But in Eddie's case, the family members are only helping him to get out of the problem, the consequences. The feelings experienced by the family. Now see, repeated problems and constant failures lead to. Here what happens? I told you first it was denial part. Second it was, what is the second part? Then the wife started becoming a protector. She acts like a protector. Third part, controller. Now the fourth part is that she becomes very desperate. She becomes helpless. See, she is finding so many ways to solve this problem. Though it has appropriate interventions, the interventions are inappropriate. It is all encouraging the addict to become more and more show inappropriate behaviors. But the wife feels that she is taking options to solve this problem. But she finds that the problem is not solved. Instead, the problem is getting complicated. Isn't it? She is trying to solve, but she is going and the problem is getting more and more complicated. Now she is fed up. Now she feels, my God, there is no rescue out of this problem. She becomes very depressed. That's why I told you, some ladies come and tell me, madam, I tried to change her so much, so I changed him so much. ഞാൻ സ്നേഹിച്ച് നോക്കി, ഞാൻ വീട്ടിൽ പോയി നോക്കി, ഞാൻ ദേഷ്യപ്പെട്ട് നോക്കി, ഞാൻ ഡൈവേഴ്സ് കൊടുക്കുമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. But he has no effect at all. Then they are like fed up. They think that, oh, there is no change in my life now. So that is like depressive feeling. So repeated problems and constant failures lead to, see, so many of feelings are experienced by the family members. Can you tell? First is shame and loneliness. Shame. Again going to the house, again getting the money. Father, brother, money from brothers. Sister-in-law making faces. So going back to the family becomes a shame for them. Always showing hands to others becomes a shame. Some people, what happens? They will be having a credit in the shops. So after 2 or 3 months, the children won't go to the shop because the debts are lying the same. The person is not clearing the debts. So after 2 months, the shopkeeper will start showing his faces. He will start giving some taunts to the family members, that the family members doesn't want to go and see them because they feel shameful. They are also living in a society. And they think, they get such negative impressions from other people, they get shameful and they also feel they have loneliness, shameful. So they won't go out. They won't give help to anybody now. Understood? They leave taking help. So naturally they will go on more and more lonely. Initially they will socialize, they will tell the family people, they will justify his behavior and all that. Now the stage has turned. What happens? Now they don't go for help. Next comes fear and hopelessness. Fear and hopelessness. You know that always they have a fear. Insecurity is always there. They have a fear. What is going to happen? What is going to happen to my children? What is going to happen to myself? Now here we can see a clippings of the shame. How the family members are experiencing shame. Actually the clippings are not in between the class, that's why the problem is coming. ഒരു കൊച്ചു മേടിക്കുന്നത് കടം ചോദിക്കുന്നുണ്ട് കൊച്ചൻ്റെ.
കടത്തിലേക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും ആ വക പരിപാടിയില്ല. ഓന് ബോധമില്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കണം. കാശില്ലാണ്ട് സാധനത്തിന് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വരണ്ട. എവിടെ വെച്ചാ പോയി വാങ്ങിച്ചോ.
എനിക്കച്ഛാ എല്ലാരും നോക്കണ്ട അച്ഛാ. എനിക്കച്ഛാ അച്ഛാ എല്ലാരും നോക്കണ്ട അച്ഛാ. എനിക്കച്ഛാ വീട്ടിൽ പോവാച്ചാ. എനിക്കച്ഛാ വീട്ടിൽ പോവാച്ചാ. അടുക്കച്ഛാ അടുക്ക.
You see the shame and embarrassment the child is having. First she went to the shop. What happened? What have you seen? First what is happening? He didn't give her assistant.
Yeah. And also he scolded her. So
First it is.
That shopkeeper, he scolded her and also told her, if you don't have money, you don't come here.
Shame she is having. Isn't it? See in the shop other people are also there. Isn't it? Other people are there when you go to the shop and the shopkeeper tells you that how you are coming, don't you have any shame coming here and buying without money? So much of shame they have socially. Isn't it? First scene is that. Second scene? Can anybody explain second scene?
The daughter felt that her father while drinking. Okay. ആ കുട്ടിയുടെ ഫാദർ അങ്ങനെ കുടിച്ച് ലക്കില്ലാതെ കിടന്നപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ആ കുട്ടിയെ ഒത്തിരി മറ്റൊരാൾക്കാർ നോക്കുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ അത് അവളുടെ അച്ഛനാണ് ഇങ്ങനെ വഴി കിടക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഒത്തിരിയേറെ ഒരു ലോൺലിനെസ്സും ഒരു ഷെയിം, ഒരു തന്നോട് തന്നെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ തൻ്റെ ഫാദറിനെ മറ്റുള്ളവരെ ഏത് തരത്തിൽ കാണുമെന്നുള്ളൊരു ഒരു ചിന്താഗതി വന്നു.
Very good. That is the right point, isn't it? One thing is that father is not behaving as people others are behaving. He is drunk and is lying on the road. Normally nobody is going to lie on road. So he is lying on the first thing. That is embarrassing us. Second thing is that what he told. Everybody will be seeing, isn't it? That his father is behaving like this. Her classmates, her schoolmates, other social people, other neighbors. So always. So that is the thing. So shame and loneliness there we see. Now then fear and hopelessness. Fear of, I told you now, generally wives have a fear. What is going to happen to me? Tomorrow all the property is in debts due to his drinking behavior. So tomorrow we are going to lose our house. It's not that simple. You think tomorrow the house you are staying it is going to be in debt. This to be leased. What is going to happen? I have lost all my gold. All my gold is in lease. And for what? Have the family gained anything? Suppose you lease your gold and you get a house, then you are happy. Isn't it? At least you have put a property and you got something. But here what happens? The fruit is nothing. The fruit is nothing. He is doing all this for the drinking matter. So they are always in a fear. Tomorrow tuition fees. I have seen so many mothers saying, day after tomorrow I have to, my child is studying in nursing and we have to send the money. What I will do, I don't know. So our dilemma and all this, lot of fears in their mind. So they can never depend on this person. Not only depend on whatever resources he is sending for, he is wasting the resources also and not helping them to live the life properly. So fear will happen, then hopelessness. See, everything is lost, people will. She has been trying so many options. From the beginning you see, she has been trying so many options. But nothing is working out. Nothing is working out. So what happens? She becomes hopeless. And now my future is gone. My life is gone. My children's life is gone. Now there is no way of rescuing us. Even some wives have come that in male in Devan Tamaran Tare Ergi Vanale, Nangle Reshavathan Patatul. See how hopeless they are. That is the way how they start thinking. See, because all these problems. So fear and hopelessness starts eating them. Fear and hopelessness, that's why how they start having sleepless nights. Sort of tensions, frustrations. Then they become rebellious towards the husband. Because only because of this person, I have to suffer so much. Then they become like psychosomatic people. Always headache, body always. they always feel like they are paralyzed. They don't have any physical problem, but mentally they are tired. They are fed up. Fatigue, of mental fatigue leads to them to so many psychopaths. Always gas problem. Gas will be always, they will have a gas problem. So all these problems start. So the feelings you have seen, shame and loneliness, fear, and there is heart feeling. We have already discussed about the heart feeling, isn't it? So many ways. Wherever they go, they get some or the other way of prickings. From husband also, sometimes from husband's family member also. Sometimes from their own houses also. Once addicts wife and children go to the own house also, the brother will always feel that they have come for some nuisance. She become a nuisance to the family members also. So what happens? They will also start misbehaving with her. So all these are hurting the wife and children. You just think how much of heart they have from all around the people. There may be some neighbors also who will be also taunting some of the other thing. So getting hurt from there also. Own family, from her own spouse, family, from other relatives. Moreover, from the community also, they have the same feeling. Okay? So much they are suffering. That you just think about that. How much they are suffering. Then grief. So naturally you have so much in sufferings, what will happen? You will be always having grief. You will always crying, weeping. Always having this depressive feelings. Grief always. Then anger. Slowly this grief will turn into, initially it will be grief. Later what happens? It becomes anger. I told you, when you repress, when you suppress your feelings, your emotions, what happens later on? You become an irritated person. Recently one day I was going to Trivandrum in bus. So the conductor asked one lady, the bus was like full. It was very rushy. So the conductor just asked the lady that, Chechi, have you taken the ticket? On the spot, lady said, Thande bus etra ticket edukanodo. Thande bus etra ticket edukano. See, is there any need of saying that? Is there any need of saying that? But why she said that? What do you think? Why she have said that? Yeah, sister is right. She is already irritated. She must be, her husband may be an addict, or she must have some other problems. So what happened? Her softness has gone. We all smile because we come from a calm atmosphere. Understand? If I also come from, my husband is an addict, I won't speak like this. He will say something and say, what you have to do? He will be irritated because of my anger, my repressed emotions. I told you that earlier, emotional ventilation is not possible with the addict. You can't express yourself. You can't show your emotions yourself. So what happens? Slowly the anger comes. Then helplessness also comes to the anger. When you are helpless, you get angry. You have seen some children making the record. They make and make, it doesn't go fine, what they will do? They will tear the page and say that this cannot happen, they will throw it. So same way the addict's wife happens. She is trying to find so much of options, trying to bring him back to life, trying to change her life. But this fellow, again and again creating the same behavior and creating all the unnecessary problems in the house. See, the unnecessary problems. I always tell to addicts, if you are sick and you don't give money to your house, your children will accept you with both the hands. They will say, my father is sick, no problem, we will adjust. But once you are spending for drinking and not giving the money, that means your children's feeling will turn. They won't have any empathy for you. What they will be having? They will be revenges towards you. They will be revenges. So creating unnecessary problems, unnecessary crisis to the family. So what happens? They will always have an anger for this. Then guilt. Some people will have started